Hi everyone. I've been receiving a lot of your requests on my Instagram as well as my Facebook to do more tutorials on the silhouette and also on the Cricut. So I have heard you loud and clear. So I am going to start making those videos again. And today's is just going to be a very simple one for something practical that I'm trying to make for myself over here. I started working on a recipe binder this week because meal planning never really appealed to me that much. I would write down what meals I was going to make for the week, and then I could tell from that list what I needed to get from the grocery store. And that's just how I've always done it for a number of years. That was the extent of my meal planning. But here, life is different. It's just different. So I have to plan better for meals and things like that. So I started a meal planning system, and I'll share that with you. But I'm also going to share just a very basic Cricut tutorial for those of you who've bought your machine but are very intimidated by it and don't know where to start. So hopefully this will just give you one practical item that you can use in your day-to-day life for whatever, whether your kids are in school and they need dividers in their planners, or you have a recipe binder or any type of binder at home and you want to make tabs for it. So that's going to be today's basic tutorial, just how to get an image from Cricut, to download and purchase it, and then how to do a print and cut to customize that item to be whatever you want on the tabs in your own binder. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial today. The first thing we need to go is to go to the landing page for the Cricut design space. So you can either type in this particular URL that you see up here, or you can just do a search on Google for Cricut Design Space, and you'll be able to find the link to get to this page right here. And go ahead and save that in your favorites. Then I go to File, New. We're going to make a new project. Now in my case, I did not have a tab already saved into my system. So I went ahead and purchased one from Cricut for 99 cents. So to do that, I clicked on Insert Images. I went up here to their search option and typed in Tab. With that, all of their tabs show up. The one I chose was this one here in pink. You'll see it says Purchased. You have the option to either purchase these designs individually for 99 cents each, or if you already subscribe to Cricut Access, this item is included with your subscription. You do not have to pay for it separately. How you know that is it has this little flag with the letter A on it for Access. So you can either pay for Cricut Access on a monthly basis for $9.99 a month, or you can pay for it on an annual basis for $7.99 a month. Since I don't purchase that many images at this time, I only purchased the one item for 99 cents. Once as you've added it to your library, it is there permanently if you purchase it that way. So right here it is marked as purchased. So for demonstration purposes today, I'm going to choose a different tab so that you can see the entire process. So if you don't already have one, here's another example of an index tab. So I'll click on that one. Then I'll go down here and click Insert Images. The nice thing with Cricut is they let you work with the design before you ever purchase it. So you know if that item is really going to work for you and for the design that you're trying to work on. So here, if I hold it up, you can see it's about 3.5 inches. That's a little large for my particular binder, but if you're working on an 8.5 by 11, that might work well. So I'm going to go ahead and just make mine down to about 3 inches. I'm going to keep it this color so that you can see exactly how it works. So you'll notice over here in the layers section that it's labeled with a cut. So this will definitely be a cut file. It will cut all around that tab. Now if you want to customize these and put your own sections for your recipe book, let's just click on Add Text. So for my first section, let's label this one Desserts. Everyone has a desserts section in their cookbook. Now you'll notice the default font that it chooses is actually a Cricut font. So what I do is I go up here and click Edit, and instead of all fonts, I change that to System Fonts. What this does is allows me to use just the fonts that are on my computer that I've already downloaded for free. Now if you don't like just the fonts that are available on your computer, you can always go to some other font websites like dafont.com and download some free fonts that you might prefer. So you'll see a lot of fonts are listed in mine because I've done that. I also go to those websites to get different shapes. Like this one here has a whole bunch of music shapes. They usually have them in what's called their dingbats section. If I want some scrolls or arrows, you can get all kinds of shapes for free that you can use with fonts. But for this purpose, I'm just looking for a nice font to have in on my tabs. So another one that I had downloaded, I think it's called Carrington or Charrington Roughened. I'm really liking this particular font right now. So I selected that one, but as you can see, it's a little big to fit. So all you do is take these double arrows and squish them down to the size that you want inside of your tab. Then, I know I want it centered. You can either eyeball it like I just did right now, or you can click your left mouse button, hold it down, select both items, go up here to the Align window, center horizontally. Now it has perfectly centered my word right inside of that tab. Let's click back on this word right here. You'll notice, let's click on Layers. This one has a scissors symbol. In the end, we don't want the scissors symbol on those words because that will make the Cricut cut out each individual letter. We don't want those letters to be cut out. So what I'm going to do is again highlight both items. Click with your right mouse, with your left mouse button in the corner, drag over both, and use the Flatten object. You'll see it gives you a definition. When you hover your mouse over that command, it says merge layers to a single printable image. Click Flatten. Now that I've done that, this image is flattened. It will no longer cut all those letters out. You'll see the print symbol here. But the benefit of doing this as well is it does remember the outline. So when you go to print and cut this, it automatically remembers where that line is, and it will cut this image out for you without cutting out all the letters. Now, if you want to make more, for example, in my cookbook, I have 8. For the moment, I'm going to unflatten this image. So it is possible to reverse what you have done. Then I'll highlight everything, copy, and paste. Move it over here. And then here you can change the name again. Let's say this is your pasta section. Same thing, you see it's way over here. We don't want that. So we'll highlight both, align, center horizontally. So again, for this one, highlight just those two together, not everything. Highlight those two together, click flatten. Go back over here, make sure to redo it for that one. Highlight both together and flatten. So say you did all of these and you hit the go button. Now you'll see it arranges them perfectly onto the mat so that everything fits. My particular printer is 8.5 by 11, so the first thing you would do is print these out and then cut them. But before you can do that, you'll need to purchase your particular tabs. So click the purchase button and finish either buying the Cricut Access subscription or buy the individual item, and then you'll be able to print and cut this. Let me go back and show you my original designs. So here are the tabs that I made for my particular binder. I decided to go with white, so let me go ahead and unflatten this and show you how to do that. So when I click on the tab itself, you'll see this particular item gets highlighted, recipe card tab. So I'll click on that white, and this is where you can change the color so that you can print and cut that tab into any color that you like. I have a lot of colors going on already in my recipe binder, so I decided to go with basic white. So before I print this, I want to make sure to highlight both of those again, flatten them so that they're both together. So now each set of these are all together as flattened images as individual sets. So then I hit the go. My items are already purchased. So instead of a purchase button down here, you'll see I now have the go button. So when it prints, it's going to print these registration marks for me, and it has perfectly laid out all of the items on the paper. Then I'll hit go, and the first thing I'm going to do is print my page on my printer. Right after I do that, my Cricut will automatically light up. You'll see the load button will be flashing on your Cricut. When your Explore Air is connected, this will flash after you've done the print. Load it, and then your go button, which is the little head of the Cricut, will start flashing, and you go ahead and click that and print out all your labels. Now for just a couple of tips. Say your binder has a lot of tabs. Mine only had 8, so it fit onto one page. But for one, you don't have to be neat and clean about your design work. You can put it wherever you want that fits on your screen, because Cricut automatically figures out the best way and the best way for it to consolidate things into a print and cut for you. So you'll see I have all of these flattened sets just scattered all over my mat. These are not going to fit onto one individual print and cut with Cricut because there is limitations to the size. It will not fit an entire 8.5 by 11. If you go to Cricut's website under their Help tab, maximum image sizes for print then cut. It all depends on the browser you're using. Google Chrome limits it to 5.5 by 8, Firefox 6 by 8.5, Internet Explorer 6 by 8.5, and Safari 6 by 8.5. So it all depends on what type of browser you're using. You'll see Chrome is probably the smallest. Cricut is trying to improve this to make it larger, but for the time being, those are the limitations. So if you get an error message saying that your image is too big, you need to make sure that your biggest image is smaller than these dimensions depending upon the browser that you're using. In our case with this, our images are very small. If I click here and click the Edit button, you'll see my largest image is only 2 inches by 1.5 inches. So we are just fine. Even though our images are all over the mat, it's okay because Cricut can adjust automatically. What happens is you'll hit the Go button, And you'll notice on the left-hand side, it gave me 2 mats instead of just 1. So the smart thing that Cricut has figured out how to do by itself is where to put the registration marks, how many tabs to automatically put on here, and then the overflow is on the second page. So you don't have to worry about it. As long as your images are smaller than that large size, Cricut will automatically figure out how many pages you need. So when you click the Go button, it will automatically print out both pages. It will pause, and then it will allow you to cut out both pages one at a time. So just follow the prompts. It'll tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. That's the nice thing about the Cricut. It figures out a lot of those things automatically for you and steps you through them step by step. So this is the binder that I'm using for my meal planning and my recipe binder. It is an A5 size, which is a half letter size. It is an arc. It's very similar to me and my big ideas, the Happy Planner or the Mini Planner, but it's a different size. It's about 1 or 2 rings shorter than the Happy Planner, and I think it's 1 ring taller than the Mini Happy Planner. This is called the Arc. It can be purchased at the Staples office supply store in the US. I've had this one for a number of years. You can choose different size discs. I think these are 1.5 inches. They come with 1/2 inch discs, or are they 1 inch? Maybe they were 1 inch discs. But I upgraded and went to a larger size and a different color. So this is the particular one I'm using. The website that I downloaded these printables from, they are free printables. It's thecottagemarket.com. She has a section called Freebies. Click on that section, and she has a section that has initials, so that's where I got this one. I still need to laminate this. And then she also has the 2017 calendars. So I printed all of those out till the end of the year. I used my Deco Rush tape here to mark this particular week. This particular week is a special week of activity and pretty busy, so I knew I would have to be flexible with my meal planning. So I went ahead and highlighted that week just using that Deco Rush tape. This is again a free printable on thecottagemarket.com all the way through the month of December. They're really pretty. I loved the florals, and it just felt like it matched my binder well. So I printed all those off. This particular week, we have some friends coming in town, so I highlighted that week with another Deco Rush tape that I had, just to make sure that I asked them about their diet and what they would like to eat on those weeks. I'm not ready to plan that far ahead yet. I'm taking it month by month. So here, I have 5 weeks in the month of March. So this was another free printable that I found. I don't remember this website. I'll try to find it and link it below. But it's a weekly meal plan, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I just highlighted everything that I was going to do for the week on there. On the back side, I created this printout by, I designed this in, I want to say Open Office, but I also saved it in a Word document. If y'all are interested in this, I will link it on my Facebook page. You can find me either under my name, Colleen Hollis, or you can find me under Two Tiny Treasures. I have a Facebook page, personal, as well as a groups page. So I will link this particular page there. If you're interested in it, you can download that for free. What I did in this page, I'll make sure to put the editable version so that you can change these out, because every family is different. What I did was first I outlined everything that I usually have stocked in my kitchen. Then I take the list and I go through my weekly plan and I see what items I need that aren't in my pantry. So if I need to buy those items, I highlighted them in green. Anything that was not already included on this list, I went ahead and added by just writing them in on the empty slots that I created. And again, this is totally customizable. You'll be able to delete out everything and just type whatever works for your family. So I'm doing it month by month. So right behind the month of March, I included 5 of these sheets so that I'm ready to go and can just do the meal planning for all of March. Then it'll go into April. Now for those tabs that we created today on the Cricut, I also downloaded these divider sheets. They're free graphics on that same website called thecottagemarket.com. Under the freebies section, I believe these in particular were from 2014. So you'll need to keep scrolling down. Click the Load More button and it'll take you down there. So I made that one my meat section. This was another cute printable she had on there. Made that the breakfast section. This one was cute. I think this is on the very first page of free printables. Made that the desserts. This one I made for entertaining. And then slow cooker. So I still have a couple more tabs, but I didn't find dividers that I really liked. So I'm designing those in the Cricut, and I'll show you how to do that as well in my follow-up videos. But I just wanted to show you how I was able to add those tabs in here. So just a tip, whenever you're making your dividers, after you punch your holes out, I laminated each one first. If you're using this particular size planner, 2 of these pages will fit into 1 lamination pouch. So I put 2 of those in there, trimmed them down, then I punched the holes. Right after I punched the holes, I went ahead and ran it through the laminator again, just to make sure that these areas aren't going to come out, since they're going to be going through quite a bit, being flipped through. I attached my tabs. I ran all the tabs through the laminator all together. And then I cut them out individually and stuck them on here with some red liner tape. It holds very well and they're not gonna go anywhere. You can just laminate your tabs on there with your sheet, but for me, it was gonna use up too many lamination sheets that way with the particular size that I had. And the same would be true if you did an 8.5 by 11. Your tab is not gonna fit inside of your lamination pouch. So you'll probably want to run, like I did, all of your tabs together in 1 lamination pouch together. So I hope this gave you some ideas. If you ended up using this tutorial to make some tabs for yourself, please tag me on Instagram. I'm 2 Tiny Treasures, also on Instagram. I'll link all my social media below. And I hope this helped out my beginner friends to use their Cricut for practical items within the home. Thanks for watching.